And we are live.
Welcome to the, what are we calling this?
The podcast.
The podcast.
The one and only podcast.
What are
featuring Joshua.
That's me. That's my name.
Yeah, and featuring myself, Manny, with the
And
help of
Haley's in the back.
producer Haley,
Somewhere.
of course.
Oh, Producer Haley is a good name.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, you like that?
You know what? I think we'll call you Producer Haley. I think we'll dub you as that.
You dub the
I have knighted thee.
You are now pronounced
Espiritu Santo.
producer Haley. Cool.
But yeah,
So,
hey, look at us, guys.
We are finally getting this off the ground. We've been in the talks for quite some time now.
Mm-hmm.
And why the hell are we doing this anyway?
Well, we do it because we hate our jobs. No.
wow.
I'm trying to move over to the online platform and
It's sort of a passion project. I think, here's one thing that got me into it. I saw you initially doing a podcast, and I thought that was cool. And I'm like, hey, I always wanted to do a podcast. So let's fusion and then create this thing. And in this studio, this hub, so to speak,
the movement hub.
the movement hub. I'll think of that. I'll get back on that.
I like these ideas.
Yeah, these are clever. These are
They're
very clever.
so original.
I like it. I have to look back. You know what? I'll have Producer Haley. That's a great name. I think.
I'll do some research to make sure
Yeah.
we don't get copyrighted, trademarked.
Yeah.
We'll make you fact checker Haley as well
There
at
you
the
go.
same time. Very good.
Cool. So that's how this started because you saw me trying to do it.
Yes.
And now we're fusioned
We're fusioned.
Filipino light skin.
Insert any
light
Dragon
skin
Ball
Filipino.
I'm the
Z.
light skin here. I
Light
am
skin Filipino.
as translucent as you can get as a Filipino.
Cool.
Well, no. Then there's me.
Yeah.
Even
Even
I am
lighter.
transparent.
Yep. There you go.
So what we want to do is not only do podcasts for your ears, but we are recording things for your eyes as well.
So if you're on YouTube,
You could see us, what we look like. And we're not really like voices for radio. Is that how they say it? Yeah. Or whatever. But we'll try to make awesome content. I got ideas of maybe making some fitness videos as well. Maybe we can get some guests over. I think that'd be a good idea.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
In your defense, I'd rather be an okay voice for radio than a face made for radio.
That's what I meant to say. And I know that there's a guy in Z100 that's like that. And then when you see their face, I'm like, oh my God, yes, the radio is meant for them. So I hope that I'm sorry.
So I hope I'm a little bit of both because I think this is going south. But
We are starting on the wrong foot.
yes, so let's get back on the right foot.
No.
Yes, it can't get any worse than here.
Yes,
All
it's
right.
only up from here. Progress.
Like Lucifer when he was sent down.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I guess the trajectory of what we want this podcast to go is some informational segments, some comedic segments, I think. I think Josh is a underground comedian that probably has no shows under his belt yet, but that's something.
I don't try to be funny. I just say things.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that based on my experience of being a personal trainer, here's a question for you, Josh.
Sure.
How long have you been in fitness?
Fitness. Oh, jeez. Like fitness as a career or fitness as like an interest?
Both.
As a career, I started back in 2013.
Wow.
And it happened accidentally.
Okay. Explain accident. Did you like trip on a dumbbell or something and you said you wanted to be in the industry?
I worked out. I was part of a Globo gym in Hudson Mall, Jersey City. Shout outs to you, Hudson Mall.
Oh.
If you want discount shoes, that's where you go. But I worked out and then I had a real job. I was working I don't know what I did, but I was in a cubicle and I just watched YouTube videos and that's pretty much my education. Fast forward down the road, I started getting a personal training job, North Jersey. And then eventually I landed into corporate fitness in Hoboken.
Uh-oh.
And then after that, moved over and I now own a gym, and we've been going strong, going on 7 years this upcoming September.
Oh, there you go. And what's the name of this gym?
The gym is called IPA. It's Ironbound Performance Athletics, the greatest gym ever created.
In Jersey City.
Ever, anywhere.
Oh,
Wow.
Yes.
that's a bold statement, my friend.
Yeah. All right, fine. Eastern Hemisphere, North America.
Let's start
There you
with
go.
downtown Jersey City.
All right. Well, yeah, everybody's catching strays today. If you're in the East Coast,
Actually, I
this gym is better.
Actually, I said the wrong hemisphere. I believe we're in the West. My geography is off. But we're not
On
here
the
for
east side
We are
of
not
the
here for
United States.
geography, guys, because that's not where my knowledge is about.
Yeah.
We're here to talk about fitness and mathematics.
There you go.
So, Manny, where did you come from?
Wow,
I came from
ask people
Hawaii.
that.
I came from Hawaii.
You came from Hawaii?
Yes, I was born there.
Wow, you were born
And then-
as an American.
Yes, and then I was shipped to the Philippines in a balikbayan box.
Wow.
For all
That's
my
illegal.
people. It was a cheaper route.
Yeah,
you know,
it
you
is.
can fit like 50 pounds in a box. And it costs
Exactly 50. No
24.
more, no less.
you know, when they put it on the scale, they put a couple tuna
Kilos.
cans.
Yeah.
They put a couple tuna cans on the bottom so it weighs properly.
So here's my first question. What are your thoughts on pineapple on pizza as a native Hawaiian?
The best pizza you ever had.
Oh, God. Speaking of
best
wrong notes,
pizza you
the
ever
Brooklyn
have.
inside Haley just died right now. All right? Like, this is so triggered.
No,
This is against everything I'm about as a New Jersey native. And the Italian in me is like very offended.
No. I think in Hawaii we're all sick and tired of the pizza that has so much grease, so much oil, pork on top of it, all that cheese. We have to lighten it up. We have to, level the playing grounds and put some pineapple on that. Shout out to all my pineapple friends in Hawaii. We're putting it on every single pizza here.
So that's what this show is about,
Yes.
guys. We are here to talk about
Pineapples.
fitness
And
pineapples
and pizza.
and pizza. And that's what you're going to get every episode.
Maybe not every episode. Yeah. We're not trying to scare all you guys off, but maybe a few of them.
So, Manny, how did your fitness journey start?
Oh, there you go. I like that question better than where you came from. So,
What? Where are you from? No, before that.
my mother's womb.
But before, like, where are you? All right, go ahead.
So, I've been a personal trainer for, it's going to be 8 years now, one of the two. And I first started as a front desk employee. So I was working as a front desk employee at this corporate gym. And I think that you worked at this corporate gym too, which will remain unnamed.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah. No,
Well,
no shout outs for
no.
them. No
Well-
shout outs for them.
You know what? We'll call it the C word.
The C. So
We'll call it the C
We
word.
came from a corporate gym, the C gym, and
The C word.
Yeah, the C word gym. And after training or after being a front desk employee for maybe 6 months, one of the master trainers in this gym, which is the highest level trainers in this gym, mentioned that I should become a trainer. And I was so baffled. I didn't really know that somebody could just choose to become a trainer. I thought there was some kind of, knighting awards or something where some trainer has to come to you and put the sword on one shoulder and then the other, and now you're pronounced a personal trainer. But I guess it wasn't that route. So I then read the big textbook that
the big
NASM,
textbook.
that NASM gives out, took a class, and then boom. It is massive. It's probably like 300 pages of gibberish.
You know what grinds my gears?
Actually, like 600.
600?
Oh, yeah.
The fact that they give you that textbook with all that information and they test only like 15% of what's on it.
That's true.
That's it.
And it's multiple choice.
That's all I got to say.
Yep.
Do you have to lift a weight prior to becoming a personal trainer and getting this CPT?
Hell no.
No.
No way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You could just be book smart at that point.
Yeah. Which in all honesty, I think that becoming a personal trainer has to stem from being somewhat familiar with how training goes, whether that is you taking a lot of different classes or you training yourself over the years or the months, or just going to college in some kind of fitness background. So I think that those are probably prerequisites that we should have as personal trainers. But what are your thoughts, Josh? Do you think that somebody outside walking the street could just think one day like, hey, I want to be a personal trainer, become one?
Let me unveil the curtain for all those people who are not in the industry that are listening, watching us right now,
Oh.
all over the world. The world.
Yeah, because we're global. We're
We
a
are
global
global.
podcast on our first episode. Let's go.
So I'll tell you what it is. Well, I'll only know because as an American, and America is where we're from, in the Western Hemisphere, north of the equator, that in order to be a personal trainer, like you don't even need a personal training certificate. You don't have a test that deems you, oh, okay, now you pass this test, you can train people now.
There's no oversight, you mean?
There is no oversight. There is no committee that's going to be like, hey, let me see your credentials. Are you practicing fitness without a license? Let me see your diploma on the back of your office.
You have a good point.
Yeah.
You just go to the park and count reps for anyone. And honestly, a lot of personal trainers kind of started out that way. They started with their friends. They started with their family. They go to the park. They'll do some pull-ups. They'll do some push-ups. They'll do some crunches just because that's what they know. Or they've gone through a journey where they've lost weight, gained muscle, had a transformation, and then all of a sudden they just train whoever they want to train, and all of a sudden they are self-appointed trainer at that point.
I think that is an acceptable route for some people. If you think about somebody who has been through a weight loss phase of, let's say, 100 pounds or any kind of weight, you're still going through the phases and the motions of what it means to go on a fitness journey, again, depending on what your goals is. But I think with that, you have a understanding, a personal understanding that you've been through whatever fitness journey, and then you can teach somebody. So do you think that simply knowing a little bit more than the person that you're training can deem you as somebody who is a personal trainer? Or do you need to be accredited by NASM,
It's a
ACSM?
double-edged sword. I like it with good intentions. I think you could guide anybody without the credentials, but people can misuse that. And if you go to any gym anywhere in America, you will find people that will train others, and they will train them incorrectly, objectively, just wrong. The form is wrong. The exercise, the order of operations is wrong. And it's just like, what are you doing? Like, you did this because, I don't know, maybe you had a high school coach that told you how to do this. Hey, we're taught to do burpees. And then one guy decides to look at Instagram and be like, hey, I think it's a good idea to do push-ups with your feet on top of bumper plates and your hands on top of bumper plates. You got to use a Bosu ball. You got to do these animal, silly little flows.
Hands. Oh, okay.
You know?
Wow, they just caught a stray.
Strays every day.
That's what this is.
The Catching Strays podcast. Let's go.
With Manny and Josh. I like it. I'm in it.
Maybe we change the name on the first 30 minutes. But anyway, I think where you're going with this, Josh, is whether or not there are good personal trainers versus bad personal trainers.
There are people who have all the ABCD alphabet soup credentials
Certifications.
and certifications, and they are like dog shit.
Ooh.
They are terrible. They are the worst trainers. I know somebody that has a CSCS, and he looked like he is unable to press a 15-pound dumbbell over his head.
So you're saying that they have the knowledge here, but not the knowledge in order to actually lift these weights.
In order to pass a test, you just need to have good memory. And that's what this is. Like all the CPTs that you took, that I took, anybody that's got a degree, if you can memorize, you can pass. All right? Like, I mean, it's honestly, I don't want to like say, because they're different levels, but honestly, if you want to pass the board or pass the bar and you got good photographic memory, you could do really well in law or be in medicine.
So I have a question.
Shoot.
Oh.
To both of you.
Oh, question.
What-
That's not allowed. Go ahead.
What makes a good trainer?
Somebody who can lift a 15-pound dumbbell over their head, that's for sure.
You know, there's these washed up meatheads that have great accolades in terms of like powerlifting, strongman, fitness. But a lot of the, honestly, here you go, catching strays. A lot of the great minds are people who have done it and now are much older. And good God, do they have like dad bod? Do they have that beer gut that's like sticking out? But they're full of knowledge, and those are the people I respect the most. Honestly, it's the weirdest thing. They're not going to get all the Instagram followers, but they are the wisest people, and they know what like the human body is capable of because they've gone through the 10 million hours of going through clients and athletes that have experienced this. But they're not on V-Shred. They're not on
Instagram.
they're not on Gymsharks. They're never going to get a affiliation. There are these like leggings for women that just make believe that they got like these ass cheeks. They look like they got BBLs or whatever. And it's a lie. It's a goddamn lie.
Circling back.
Yeah, so-
How did we get here?
Going back to the answer.
Let me answer this question.
I'll have you answer for me. Go ahead.
I personally think that a good personal trainer in this industry nowadays is somebody who can guide a person who wants to go on a fitness journey in an appropriate way where they feel safe, they feel like they are progressing, and they feel like they are learning. I think that in my years of experience of being surrounded with different kinds of personal trainers, I think that there is no one specific look when it comes to what a good personal trainer is. I think majority of it would be how you, as a person who has the eye for what a good personal trainer is or a decent personal trainer, is when you see somebody training another person, whether or not it does not look insane. I think nowadays, again, we can take a couple steps back and say, like, anybody can be a personal trainer. You could literally tell somebody, hey, do a plank. They do a plank, automatically you're a personal trainer. But I think there's a big divide whether or not there's good personal trainers or bad personal trainers. So I think that there's no specific look, but I do think that there is always going to be somewhat of a standard of how we should train people to keep them safe. And also in some way, shape, or form, presenting yourself in this industry of, helping people and being a part of fitness.
I agree, and that's what I was gonna say.
Oh yeah.
Before
you talked about these leggings that had no sense.
With a hard on.
It's very cliche, but the quote that says like, "Hey, nobody cares how much you know, unless they know how much you care," and that's basically it. If someone who's invested in your progress and it's like your biggest cheerleader on the corner, whether they pay for your services as a personal trainer or they go to your group class or they're part of your book club, those are people that are sort of like invested in your journey. And I think like that would be like the biggest thing. Like, hey, let's put in some resources into your development and let's do this together. Some people are like, hey, let's do this as a team. I think those make for the best trainers. There are those that for them it's a job. And for them, it's easy because, hey, they actually like fitness. And there's a lot of people like, hey, I like to work out. I'm going to make other people work out for money also. And then those are the ones that are like, they really just burn out. They go into it, and then we don't see them for a couple months because their heart's not into it,
So here's a question.
Shoot.
Based on what you just said.
Yes.
So you see a trainer training somebody.
Yes.
The client looks horrible, looks like they're about to kill themselves or they're about to twist a knee, pop a shoulder, one of his eyes are going to pop out of his head. But the trainer is giving all the hype in the world, is guiding them and being like pom-poms on, telling them they can do it, is that a good personal trainer? Because they're feeling good.
It is very subjective. Now, there will be a population that will be like, hey, oh my God, he's so wonderful. He's a great cheerleader. But I get killed every time. And honestly, these look unsafe. In my world, I don't think you should put a client in any unsafe conditions. I think that's a mark of a bad trainer. No matter, even if you get positive 5-star reviews from your clientele, if they're putting you in harm's way and most of them don't know about it, it's no good.
Bad trainer.
No good. It's no good. I know what they're doing. They might not know what you're doing, but I know what you're doing. You know, I just think the majority of people think like the harder the workout, the better the trainer, the better the product. And that's not what it is. A lot of great results come from boring, mundane workouts. The best progress you're ever going to get are the workouts that you do 3 to 4 times a week and repetitively. And it's like, oh God, we got a split squat again. And I'm like, yes, Susie, we got a split squat on Tuesday.
Bench press.
Oh yeah, bench press. Why can't, hey, let's do this. They whip their phone out. They show you this
Kettlebell toss over there.
yeah, whatever, man. Like they'll show you some Jillian Michaels like thing that she does or whatever. Yeah. Another string.
We should have a counter of like all the
podcast.
strains.
We should have some kind of tally right here in the bottom of the screen, and it just tallies how many strays we gave in a podcast.
Call me a favela because I will bring you all the strays.
Wow.
There you go. But I guess what this trajectory of this podcast seems like is that you and I have some kind of experience when it comes to fitness. You're a gym owner. Used to be a personal trainer.
I still am.
And still is a personal trainer. I'm a personal trainer. That's kind of all I am. With a lot of
You're more than that, Manny.
I have all those different
there's
acronyms and letters.
Person, Manny.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Talk yourself up.
Yes, and I'm a motivator, and yes, I'm a hybrid athlete now. So
Look at you go.
let's go.
Look at you go.
Anyway, so I guess the trajectory of what this podcast will be is our unsolicited advice and opinions.
I'd say unhinged.
Unhinged, there you go.
Yeah.
About anything fitness.
Anything and everything fitness.
Anything
It
fitness.
doesn't have to be fitness. Like some people are like yawning in the background. It might not all be fitness. It might be current topics.
Yeah, there you go.
Like this blizzard we're having, this cold blizzard that we're having, this downpour.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
And what Josh mentioned, whore leggings.
And like,
which is the best? Which is the
look, I will dispose like all the
Leave
fallacies
us on this.
of the fitness industry. I will tell you what's wrong with it, why it's sickening and it's maddening and it's poisoning your brains. All right, and we'll cut through the bullshit.
Yes, and we'll give you the antidote right here.
You should listen to us only and nobody else.
And why not all the people that are on Instagram and like the people without the certs and what you guys mentioned, the experience that you guys have? Like, what makes you two versus the fitfluencers?
They get paid and we don't. And because we don't, we can say whatever we want until we get paid. All right?
So no sponsors on this podcast. We speak our
I want you to
mind.
mark this first episode as this is Josh now. This is Josh in his purest form. And then he's like, oh, Josh, you sold out. I know.
No water. No vitamins. No.
And it's all because of vitamin water,
There
guys.
you go. But anyway, I think that what I have to offer on this podcast is my thousands of hours of doing one-on-one training. I think I did a tally about how many sessions I've done before leaving the corporate C gym 4 years ago. And I think I was already at 7,000 training sessions. And
You clock all of them?
At a certain point, I just looked at how many training sessions were serviced over all the years that I worked at this gym. Wow. And I think for the past 4 years, I've been doing anywhere from 100 to 120 every month. So let's just call it over 10,000 by now. So I think for me, although I'm still learning all these different kind of methods and techniques when it comes to training, I think it all boils down to how much experience you have when it comes to managing people doing what you want them to do, which in this case would be fitness or moving around dumbbells, barbells, and all that different kind of stuff. So I think for me, with my 10,000 hours,
You're an expert.
is that so?
That's what they say. You got to do 10,000 hours to be an expert.
Cool. Expert that's still learning, I would say.
Yeah, you're more of a master than that master trainer who knighted you
there
the
you go.
day of. What made him a master?
Or
Why
her.
don't we bow to him?
Or her.
Or her.
Or it.
Yeah.
There you go. But anyway, that's my little, whatever you want to call it.
So Josh, why should we listen to you?
Yeah. Why you, bro?
You don't got to.
Yeah.
You know, keep going about your day. You can go do your laundry. Just put me in the background and hear what I got to say. And you have two choices. I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. Or two, nah, you're full of shit.
Garbage.
Yeah.
There you go.
You don't got to do anything. I'm not forcing it to you. I'm just telling you the truth for now until I get sponsored.
There you go.
And then you're gonna be lying.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that
Wow.
what we hope with this future of this podcast would be to help all of you listeners and viewers to have a better idea of what it really is and what it looks like in the fitness industry, whether it's going on your own journey or a journey that a friend may be going on or a family member or something like that. But I hope that our 2 cents can help you navigate this space of fitness that is at this point just a bunch of
Malarkey.
Malarkey, there you go, whatever word you want to use.
That is such a boomer word. Where did that come from?
and yes, that is what podcast is this called?
Yes. We'll get to it, guys. We'll
There
get
you
to
go.
it. You know what we got to do? A salutation. Like
A sign off or
a sign off. Hey guys, that's how the cookie crumbles.
That's how the dumbbell rolls.
Fuck off, San Diego.
Wow.
Yeah, so
And thank you for listening to the, let's call it the Movement Hub podcast.
Movement Hub podcast works. I think we'll go with that. We'll circle back on that.
Yeah.
We should have had a meeting before we just put mics on.
No, you know what they say is that sometimes you just gotta do it.
Nike.
Hey.
No, don't sponsor us. We are not getting sponsored by anybody.
So Josh doesn't start lying to us.
Exactly. For now, you'll get the truth. All right.
And we'll see you on the next one.